Well, some of the best secrets are kept out in the open.
There's
Jay.
certain things that intrigued me. Like the Alcatraz story.
Yeah.
Did those guys really make it? Didn't someone recently come out that says I was one of the Alcatraz survivors that escaped and
it's like who shot Kennedy? It's a whole thing.
There's a lot of things that intrigued me with
the Kennedy thing being where we're from. I've spent hours watching like the Zapruder films. I've got hours of my life I'll never get back.
What's your take on it?
I was more than one gunman, 100%.
Really?
I can tell you this, being a shooter, that rifle, that situation. I don't know what you think, Rory, because I know you're a nut in there, but there's no way, in my opinion, that there was a magic bullet that did all those things, that took a left and went through a wrist and travel. And to take those shots in a moving vehicle, and he's had little to no training on that rifle. That was a rifle he bought in the back of a magazine, Jay, for like...
Yeah, it looked like a piece of shit
rifle. It was a piece of shit rifle with irons, and he was shooting a .30 caliber bullet, if I recall.
How far was it?
It was something like X amount of feet in a moving car taking a turn, and he hit 2 pinpoint shots, one to the head and one to the neck of Kennedy. And you're going to tell me there was... I don't believe in the grassy knoll theory. I believe in the storm drain theory. I think there was someone in the storm drain that took another shot or multiple shots, but there's no fucking way. I mean, I don't have the Warren report in front of me, but...
we're talking about 90 yards is what we're talking about. I mean, it's not hard to make a 100-yard shot with almost any rifle, with almost any person with minimal training. But and that's nowadays though. Mm-hmm. But I mean, back then, you're talking about buying a rifle that
on the back of a comic book, the back of a Sears and Roebuck catalog.
The rifling back then and the tooling used to make that rifling probably wasn't very accurate. I mean, buying a gun out of the mail order catalog back then, I don't think it would have the accuracy. I mean, I think at 100 yards, it's probably going to be 5 MOA. I don't think the accuracy would.
I don't think the MOA was there. Not for him to make the neck and head shot in a moving vehicle like that. I just have a really hard time. And the whole thing was set up for a shoot because the top was down. He's taking a slow, casual ride near high buildings. You never, ever see the president do that, ever. Even before that, it was a hard time to find presidents that did that. There's no footage of it. Do you ever see footage of another president riding around in a car like that? Ever.
And we're also talking about, the shots had to have been fired within a very short space of time. If he's not, used to working a gun like that, then that's going to take him a little bit to get that done, a few seconds extra. And not to mention, a lot of people are saying that the car at the time was obscured by an oak tree. Mm-hmm. And they also pointed out as well, saying we were just talking about that the gun used in that was an unpredictably, unreliable gun for pulling off a shot that accurate. And they even said the gun itself even had some mechanical problems itself, but they, a lot of people point out the moving car, the oak tree, the quick, rapid succession of the shots, the rifle being of, horrible quality.
There's no question that Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy in that situation. Mm-hmm. There's then Jack Ruby kills him. Come on. Yeah. And they shoveled this all into everybody's throat, and they expect everybody to swallow it. It was
they did.
Yeah, and it was neat. It was very neat.
So as far as the aliens,
I'm gonna touch on the JFK thing on one last thing about it, and we'll get back to the aliens. There was actually a guy that was an expert rifleman from the U.S. Army, and they also brought in some expert riflemen from the FBI that actually did attempt to duplicate what Oswald did. And they failed to achieve the combination of accuracy and the speed needed
because it was a bolt
to
action.
Make it happen. They said, 2 hits out of 3 within about 6 seconds. They said they just couldn't duplicate it.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.